So we're going to meet a lot of the faces who have already pledged their support to the Canadian Health and Fitness Institute tonight, but why don't we meet some of the brains behind the operation? I say some because there are a lot of brains behind this operation. My pleasure to be standing here tonight, socially distanced, of course, with John Weston and Mike Mahony. John, you, of course, are the founder. Mike, you're part of the advisory board. And maybe let's start with you, John. It's one thing to say, hey, let's make Canada the fittest nation on the planet. That's a great concept. How do you get from that idea to where we are today?
Well, it's an extraordinary, ambitious idea, and it's not something you do alone. So the first thing I've discovered is you have to be working with great people. And what a pleasure to be working with people like Mike Mahony, to have the guests that we have this evening, you know, celebrity panelists who are really champions of health and fitness. What I love about the people we're meeting tonight is that they're not just champions of sport or health and fitness, but they stand for values that you talk about when you're trying to change a nation. And we need some change. We live in a wonderful country. I think anybody who lives in Canada has to be proud of it. But there's so many things that we need to change. The sedentary behavior that has become characteristic of our generation has led to all of these problems that are well documented. Cardiovascular disease, diabetes, overweightness, the spiraling healthcare costs, and we have to break the cycle. So what we're doing isn't working. Therefore, we've set this goal and we've set a deadline. Just like you said, Scott, make Canada the fittest nation on earth by 2030. So we're steadfastly heading in that direction. We've got a lot to do, but we've got some specific plans. And as I said, fabulous people to work with.
Yeah, and John, you mentioned one of them, Mike. You're someone who jumped on board. John obviously used his network to get you involved as well. And I imagine that's part of tonight's endeavor and what you're behind as well. How do people get involved with this?
Yeah, thanks, Scott. It's super exciting time, obviously, working with this great group, recognizing, you know, we want to re-coach the coaches and re-educate the educators. And tonight's about everybody. Everybody can watch this event tonight, be a part of this tonight. So, you know, spread the word as you're watching, be a part of this great event with great speakers coming together, sport, physical, mental, spiritual health, all of it. So it's really a wonderful time.
Yeah, and that means individuals, Mike, as well as businesses, correct?
Yeah, for sure. I think, you know, a lot of industries have been crushed in the last 6 or so months, and we're looking to provide solutions for not only the businesses, but to partner with them to help participate in revitalizing our communities. So help us help you. Let's help your business. Let's bring eyeballs and customers to you, and at the same time, help revitalize all these great communities across Canada.
As mentioned, businesses and individuals. John, and one of the great individuals we're going to hear from later, and we're honoring here tonight, Dr. Jack Taunton. How is he? This is a guy who's been doing it for years, but how is he such an inspiration and such a real touch point for you in all of this?
Well, you've got a resume that speaks volumes. Here's a person who was the co-creator of sport medicine in Canada, who launched the Vancouver Sun Run, the Vancouver Marathon, and was Canada's top physician during the 2010 Olympic and Paralympic Games. But you know, that's just the beginning of the story. This is a guy who gets up early in the morning and thinks, how can he heal other people? He's the doctor's doctor. He really sees the problems that we have in Canada, and he sees the potential. So he was an early adopter of this whole Make Canada Fittest Nation on Earth by 2030. And he's encouraging us all. The first person in the morning you're going to get your email from is Dr. Jack, encouraging you. He'll be out on his walk. Here's a guy who ran world-class time marathons, who nowadays walks with poles because he's had various surgeries, but it won't stop him. Do you hear him whining or complaining? He says, no. Get off the couch, walk, run, do it for your immunity system, do it for somebody else, bring someone along for the ride, make Canada a better place, make yourself a better person. What a hero.
Yeah, and Mike, I know that's a guy that you have run into over the years, and Dr. Jack Taunton has been influential in your own life.
Yeah, 100%. I look at Jack as the terminator of giving. Really, the most amazing thing about Jack is you would think somebody like this would be untouchable or hard to get a hold of or have the time to talk with, and magically Jack has the time for everybody all day long. There's no secretary, there's no line of defense. It's call me, email me. I'll get in touch with you. And it doesn't end. When I think of the word giving, I think of Jack Taunton as a mentor and leaving a legacy for all of us to follow behind and do more to help each other.
And you know, what Mike said is so right. We're going to see people tonight like Lynn Kanuka, whom he coached at a time when she had a fracture in her hip. He coached her through that year to a bronze medal in the 1984 Olympic Games. It's an unbelievable story. And she's an undying fan of Dr. Jack. And, you know, this world of Dr. Jack, the friends of Dr. Jack, it's far and wide because of stories like that.
Yeah, it certainly is. And hey, he's somebody who lives it, doesn't just say it. And that's what we're all about here tonight. We're going from us talking to getting you walking, getting you running, getting you involved in a variety of capacities. We're going to give you ways to do that tonight. Thank you guys both for doing this, and we will be touching on that throughout the course of the evening with our celebrity guests.